And we can now get to Real Madrid against Valencia, the other Final Four. And before getting you going, I want to specify one thing, which was the fact that I wanted to actually do a video breakdown of this game. But when I was watching the game, a notification popped up on my mobile phone, and that was the Euroleague demonetizing a video from last season, which was, I think, the final. So Fenerbahce against Monaco, and obviously that video don't generate any money anymore. So I honestly don't know the purpose of it, but was probably, a message that they wanted to give. So don't make video breakdowns about anything in EuroLeague this season. And I want to be particularly tough on this decision by EuroLeague, because I think that the information, especially the impartial information, should be available to anyone, especially if made with, legit means and legal ways to make video breakdowns or information in general. So if you're not committing anything illegal, like I haven't done so, because obviously there is the fair view clause in the YouTuber's contract when they sign the partnership with YouTube. So we should be defended in this matter. But the platform obviously stands with the people with more power. So the only thing that I want to say is shame on EuroLeague under this point of view, because if they let creators make videos and highlighting the best parts of EuroLeague, which is the tactical side, which is the coach's game plans and many other things like this, probably EuroLeague wouldn't need the NBA or someone else to come in this continent and show them how things should be done. But let's close this paragraph. And now I want to know your opinion about the game between Real and Valencia, and then I will say mine.
Yes. The game was a little bit different than I was expecting, actually. Also because we have seen many games in the Panathinaikos Valencia series that Panathinaikos adapted a little bit too much to the Valencia game, and they were not imposing their game at all. Real Madrid in the first two quarters, and especially in the second one, outnumbered the possession of Valencia, and both on with many offensive rebounds, and they were much better at the Valencia game that Valencia was itself. So basically, the team that was that seemed in this particular game to be better at rebounding, fast breaks, and defensive side was Real Madrid. I think that was very interesting for me also was obviously the lineups, which no Osako in the starting five, as we have talked before in the analysis. So Pedro Martinez started a little bit shorter than the usual, also because of the absence, as we said, of Alex Len and Walter Tavares. And despite that, with just Garuba with just a number of 5 rebounds total, there were just defensive ones. Real Madrid with the deck with Ezunia and Trey Lyles and Chumokeke, with so power forwards or small forwards that are bigger than the Valencia ones, outnumbered the numbers of rebounds, and especially because of that, they it was very hard for Valencia to play. Scariolo started with many post-ups for Ezonia, so Cameron Taylor was giving fouls away, so he was limited also in the numbers of minutes by trouble fouls. And after that, Jean Montero and Badio were limited also in the offensive creation. despite obviously Montero finishing with 15 points and 9 assists, but they were limited then in the series before against Panathinaikos by both Teo Maledon and Andreas Feliz, which were outstanding by the defensive side. It's just one game, so it's not obviously an entire season, but they were the lowest defensive rating of the Final Four at all. So the two of them managed to keep Valencia scoring points very low. So as we see, the majority of the points were scored in the first 2 quarters, and then Real Madrid managed to slow down the game, and it was not it was different, a completely different game from the first one. But Real Madrid showed us that they are a good team. They are going to be a very tough opponent in the final against Olympiacos, and I wouldn't have said the same for Valencia against Olympiacos. But they will be with no centers at all, so the depth of the center will be obviously absent because of also the injury of Usman Garuba in the last quarter of the game. Someone spread the rumor that it could be like Achilles torn, but at the moment we can't say anything in particular, but obviously he will miss the game. So Trey Lyles will be required to play as in the center position, which could obviously help on the offensive side to open the space for the penetrations for Feliz and for Maledon, which was very good in the game against Valencia. But obviously on the defensive side is a little bit of a liability, both against Milutinov because of the physicality, and against maybe Tyreek Jones or Devon Hall because of the athleticism. So basically, it will be required also to the other players such as Ezonia to give more effort on the defensive side.
So I want to start from the things that you said in the first part of your analysis. So the fact that Sacco and Costello didn't play much in this game because they would have been targets on the defensive side. And on offense, they are not very good on post-up. So the mismatches could have not been exploited on the offensive side, but they could have been exploited on the defensive side by Real Madrid. So I think that starting with Ruvers and Pradilla was the correct choice by Martinez. And another thing that we correctly said in the preview was the fact that the two players like Andres Feliz and Gabriel Deck would have had a huge impact on the game, and that was the case. Also, we mentioned the Trey Lyles, and Trey Lyles was also a key player for this game. Overall, Real Madrid scored 60 points off the bench, which is an amazing number in my opinion. And Scariolo was really good in reading the moments of the game, knowing which player should be on the court on which occasion. So overall, Scariolo's role in this game was really, really important. As you said, he threw some matchup zones. He threw some really interesting coverages. At one point, he did a zone coverage with Garuba at the top, and it was a strange coverage that shifted into a man-to-man once the ball passed the extended free throw line. But he also understood his injury situation and the fact that Walter Tavares and Alex Len couldn't play in this game. So he kind of adapted to the fast game of Valencia, but also he adapted to the offensive rebound battle that Valencia wanted to play, and Real Madrid out-rebounded Valencia 19-9, which is something very unusual for the teams that face Valencia. So, as you said, Garuba in one point of the game got hurt. So now there are no centers at all because, as you said, Trey Lyles would be the only realistic option as a center, and maybe Chuma Okeke could play some minutes at 5 spot. So their next game, their next EuroLeague game would be really tough, especially against Olympiacos and against centers like Nikola Milutinov, Tyreek Jones, Don Towell, also Mustafa Fall if he's available to play. But I think that if I was a Real Madrid fan, I would 100% trust Scariolo. And, years ago, Chus Mateo won the EuroLeague against Olympiacos by throwing basically 40 minutes of a zone coverage. So this might also be the case. Sergio Llull is some years older now, but I don't know. If I was an Olympiacos fan, I wouldn't wish it, but it would be a really tactical game. Also because Bartzokas is a great basketball mind too, so I'm very excited to see the EuroLeague final.
Last thing to say, which is also another very important thing to say, that's in the numbers of free throws conceded by the referees to the Real Madrid with 25 against the just 9 of Valencia.